What's happening, everybody? I'm Todd Tanner. This is Wrestling News Now. It's part two, the one and only, the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Before I get into it on tonight, if you happen to be passing by and you're looking at this YouTube channel, if you like the content, would you do two things for me? Would you kindly hit the like button? And would you also subscribe to Wrestling News Now with Todd Tanner? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's conclude this awesome story. I'm going to pick up where Snuka left the World Wrestling Federation, now the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, and he took his talents and headed over to Japan and other various promotions. After spending the rest of 1985 and early 1986 competing for New Japan Pro Wrestling, Snuka resurfaced in the American Wrestling Association, known as the AWA, replacing Jerry Blackwell as Greg Gagne's partner to defeat Fruta Brosey and Nord the Barbarian in a tag team cage match at Wrestle Rock 86. Snuka spent his split this time between the AWA and Japan throughout the 1986 and 1987. His most notable feud in the AWA during that time was with Colonel De Beers, who portrayed a racist and looked down on Snuka because of his skin color. This led the way for a series of grudge matches in 1987. Snuka also worked for Pacific Northwest Wrestling and Continental Wrestling Association. In 1988, he worked a couple of matches in Singapore. He wrestled throughout 1988 for All Japan Wrestling. He frequently teamed up with Tiger Mask. Snuka re-emerged in the WWF at WrestleMania 4 on April 2nd, 1989. He made his television return to action on the May 27 episode of Saturday Night's Main Event 21, defeating Boris Zarkov. After a brief feud with the Honky Tonk Man, Snuka made his in-ring pay-per-view debut at SummerSlam against the one and only Everybody Has a Price, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Snuka lost the match by countout as a result of interference from DiBiase's bodyguard Virgil. By the later part of 1989, Snuka was put into a spot like many veterans before him, being used to help put over other rising stars such as Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig. At the Survivor Series, Snuka and Hennig were each the final remaining members of their teams, with Hennig pinning Snuka to win the match for his team. In January 1990, Snuka made his Royal Rumble match debut, lasting 17 minutes and eliminating two competitors before being eliminated by the eventual winner, Hulk Hogan. Snuka had his first WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 6, where he was defeated by Rick Rude. When the Intercontinental Championship was vacated after WrestleMania, Snuka entered the tournament to crown a new champion. He was eliminated in the first round when he once again lost to Mr. Perfect. What the? At the November Survivor Series, Snuka joined Jake Roberts and the Rockers in a losing effort against Rick Martel, the Warlord, and Power and Glory. On March 24th, 1991, Snuka was defeated by The Undertaker at WrestleMania 7, which began Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. In January 1992, he competed in the Royal Rumble for the vacant WWF Championship, but lasted only 3 minutes before being eliminated by Undertaker. Snuka left the WWF soon after his last recorded match being a loss to Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, at the Los Angeles Sports Arena on February 8, 1992. In the midst of his ECW career, Snuka once again returned to the WWF on September 25, 1993, defeating Brian Christopher at a Madison Square Garden house show. Do you all know who Brian Christopher was? Well, I'm going to tell you in a separate upcoming video. All right? So he defeated Brian Christopher at a Madison Square Garden house show. He returned to television 2 nights later, defeating Paul Van Dale via Superfly splash on the September 27th episode of Monday Night Raw. The following week on Raw, Snuka participated in a battle royale for the vacant Intercontinental Championship, in which he was eliminated by Rick Martel before departing the company. After leaving the WWF in March 1992, Snuka toured with various smaller organizations and played a role in the formation of Todd Gordon's Philadelphia-based Eastern Championship Wrestling, or ECW, organization, along with fellow veterans Don Morocco and Terry Funk. Snuka made his ECW debut as a fan favorite at a live event on April 25th. He won his first match, a battle royale, to qualify for the ECW Heavyweight Championship match against Salvatore Bellomo. Skip it. The winner of the other battle royal immediately after Snuka defeated Bellomo to become the promotion's first heavyweight champion. A day later, he dropped the title to Johnny Hotbody. What kind of garbage was that? Seriously? Some of this stuff pisses me off when I have to read it. I don't write this stuff. I don't even like half of it. But some of it I know is not factual. He returned to ECW on July 14th, where he defeated Hotbody to regain the heavyweight championship title, winning it for a second time. He made his first successful title defense against Mr. Sandman on July 15. Snuka held the title for the next 2 months, defeating challengers like Super Destroyer, Number One, and King Kahula, before losing the title to Morocco on September 30th. Snuka successfully challenged Morocco for the title in a rematch on October 24, after which he turned into a villain by feigning confrontation with color commentator stately Wayne Manor, and then attacking ECW owner Ted Gordon with a chair. Snuka took on Hunter Q, Robbins III, as his manager, and closed the year with a loss to Davey Boy Smith on December 19th. Snuka became a member of the Paul E. Dangerously's new faction, Hot Stuff International, on the debut episode of the company's eponymous television program, Eastern Championship Wrestling, on April 6th, and won an 8-man tournament for the vacant television championship by defeating Larry Winters, the undefeated Tommy Carraro, and Glenn Osborne. Snuka frequently teamed with his stablemates, Eddie Gilbert and Morocco. Snuka made his first televised title defense against Osborne on the May 25 episode of Eastern Championship Wrestling, where Snuka retained the title. Snuka successfully defended the title against J.T. Smith and the new WA Pennsylvania heavyweight champion, Tommy Carraro, at Super Summer Sizzler. That sounds like a state spectacular. While also defending the title on Eastern Championship Wrestling. Snuka lost the title to Terry Funk in a brutal steel cage match at NWA Bloodfest. Snuka's next notable match took place at the night of the line was crossed in 1994, where he faced rising star Tommy Dreamer in an infamous match. During the match, Dreamer kicked out of a pinfall attempt by Snuka after a Superfly splash, thus marking one of the few times in wrestling history that an opponent kicked out of Snuka's finishing move. Snuka still managed to win by delivering 3 splashes. Snuka continued his assault on Dreamer after the match, which began a feud between the two. Snuka lost to Dreamer on March 5th, before beating him in a steel cage match at Ultimate Jeopardy. Snuka wrestled his last ECW match at Hardcore Heaven in August, where he and the Tasmaniac picked up a tag team win victory over the Pit Bulls. Later that month, ECW was taken over by Paul Heyman, who renamed it Extreme Championship Wrestling. Snuka wrestled for one night at WCW's Slamboree in 1993, a Legends reunion on May 23rd, 1993, teaming with Don Morocco and Dick Murdoch against Wahoo McDaniel, Black Jack Mulligan, and Jim Brunzell in a no contest. Snuka also appeared on WCW Monday Night Nitro, January 10th, 2000, where he gave Jeff Jarrett a Superfly splash off the top of his steel cage. Well, I'm going to continue this video. I thought it was going to end tonight. I'll read a little more, and then we're going to end it, and I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. So listen, Snuka also participated. This one is good. Now listen to this. Snuka continued to spend much of his time with East Coast Championship organizations through the mid-1990s and the 2000s. During this time, he wrestled at the Metal Maniac in a series of matches that spanned across many independent wrestling promotions, winning most of these matches. On August 15, 1997, Snuka defeated the Masked Superstar at the IWA Night of the Legends show in Kannapolis, North Carolina, via disqualification when his opponent hit special guest referee Ricky Steamboat. Snuka also participated in the first X-Wrestling Federation TV tapings, accompanying his son Jimmy Snuka Jr. to the ring for matches, including one match where they both delivered a super splash to prone opponents. On July 22, 2000, Snuka won the International Wrestling Superstars United States Heavyweight Championship by pin against King Kong Bundy in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wow, that must have been some type of win. Because, you know, Bundy was a huge mammoth of an individual. On April 3rd, 2004, Snuka and Kamala fought to a no contest at the International Wrestling Cartel's first annual Night of Legends event in Franklin, Pennsylvania. In 2004, Snuka made appearances for Total Nonstop Action, or TNA, at the Victory Road pay-per-view at Piper's guest on Piper's Pit. On July 1st, 2006, Snuka wrestled for Pt.2's Fight Club 2, where he teamed with Darren Barrage to defeat Stevie Lynn and Jay Phoenix. Until the next episode, this will have to be a part 3. For Wrestling News Now, I'm Todd Tanner.